We are back. CouchPotatoGM.com is the website. Couch Potato General Manager is the YouTube channel. You know it because you're on it. We're here to talk the Cincinnati Bengals Draft Recap 2019. NFL Draft Recap 2019. Mm-hmm. They had the 11th pick to start.
Mm-hmm. Dwayne Haskins?
No, they didn't. No. They couldn't get Bush because he was taken.
Right.
They couldn't get White because he was taken.
Sure.
Talking about the Devons.
Mm-hmm.
So they went next best thing. They went with the best offensive lineman in the draft, and Jonah Williams from Alabama.
Please note that the news of Jonah Williams' torn labrum and surgery was reported after this video was recorded. As a result, 8-year veteran Cordy Glenn, who's been slotted as a starting left guard, a position he had not played since college, will move back to left tackle in Williams' stead. Meanwhile, CPGM imagines there will be an open competition at left guard. Williams' injury is a huge blow in what appeared to be a position group taking a significant step in the right direction.
He was one of the cleaner prospects that we watched. Jonah Williams was our 8th ranked player in our top 50. We thought highly of Jonah Williams. We had him as the tackle number 1 in this draft class.
We didn't think about putting him in that guard.
No, definitely. I know a lot of people wanted to put him at guard, short arms.
Yeah.
Hey man, Joe Thomas has short arms too. You see, this guy's headed to Canton. So, Jonah Williams, he has a lot of the same similar traits as Joe Thomas. Gets out of his stance quickly. He has a nice slide step. Very smart football player. I see him move to the second level with ease. Like I said, man, this guy's one of the cleaner prospects. It's not much weaknesses to Jonah Williams' game, and he's a plug-and-play left tackle. Now the news out of Cincinnati is that Cordy Glenn might be sliding inside. They might put Jonah Williams to the left tackle.
I like it. It's called beef. We getting right up front. We're changing the mentality of this football team, and it's starting to paint a picture with the next pick. I'm not going to get into the next pick, but it's starting to paint a picture of what they want to do. They want to protect the quarterback, and they want to give it to the guy they drafted a couple years ago in Joe Mixon.
Is Bobby Hart still starting?
Hey, if you're moving Cordy Glenn inside, that means Bobby Hart's going to be starting.
I mean, obviously, they paid him. It wasn't obscene amounts of money, but that's starter money. That's starter money. Right. So, clearly they feel that there's enough there to work with. I personally would have preferred to displace him. I think there's concern about Cordy Glenn. I think there's legitimate concern about Cordy Glenn. I think there's a reason why Buffalo decided to move off of him. He didn't look quite right. And I think Cordy Glenn, assuming he's healthy, I think he'll be just fine. Don't get me wrong. But ideally, I would like to have Williams and Glenn bookended. But it seems like they're going in a different direction.
I prefer technique over talent, polish over potential. A lot of times teams get enamored by, potential with the offensive lineman. But that position right there, man, you just give me the guy that is technically sound, that has done it over and over and over and showed that he can play that position rather than trying to mold a left tackle.
Yeah. No, we can always kick him inside, though. That's always the default. We can kick him inside. Start him outside. Don't work outside. Move him inside.
And that's fine. If it comes to that. But Jonah Williams played against the best of competition at the collegiate level. Did more than hold his own, obviously. He's, as Henley mentioned, he's approaching flawlessness in terms of his technical ability. So, I have no problem with them turning the keys over to Jonah Williams if they feel right now Jonah Williams is a better left tackle than Cordy Glenn. My issue stems from we still rolling out Bobby Hart. That's my issue. And he has proven to be a liability. Now, new coaching staff, new scheme, we'll see how it all works out. Like I said, they made a commitment to him.
Yeah.
But I question it, and of course I'm not there in the office, in the building, so I don't have all the details, obviously, but I do question, okay, you decided that you see fit to move Cordy Glenn, who's a proven tackle, inside and keep Bobby Hart out there on the outside.
In the second round with the 52nd pick, the Bengals surprised a lot of people by selecting tight end Drew Sample from Washington. And got to be honest, I wasn't sure what the plan was here, because there were some good players on the board, but when you go and you look at the tape of Drew Sample, he's a straight up blocker. From the first level to the second level to the third level. He has no issues finding who he's supposed to block. He has no issues blocking defensive ends, which he was asked to do countless times at Washington. Held his own. It's a guy who can pull, who can swing. This is a hell of a blocking tight end. Might be the best in class in terms of when you talk about all the tight ends. We're talking about Fant. We're talking about Hockenson. We talking about Irv Smith. We talking about all those guys. He was hemming guys up. Okay, and so what does that say to me about this team? What does that say when you talk about
That's starting right tackle right there, bro?
No. There's not enough weight on him because he's about 255, so it's not enough weight.
I'm kidding.
But when you talk about what you want to do for the Bengals, what is the offense going to look like? I mean, we can talk about Sean McVay till we blue in the face because that's where Zac Taylor coming from, but. You're talking about moving Cordy Glenn inside. You're talking about putting Jonah Williams out on left tackle, and then you talk about adding a Drew Sample, a guy who's going to block and who's actually going to be available because we know we're not always sure about Tyler Eifert. We want to give that guy what number is Joe Mixon? 28. 28 in the backfield. We want to hand him the football. We want him to do work because he's special, and we know he's special, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't seen his full potential yet because it's been held back either from quarterback play or from offensive line play. And so now we're going to see his full potential. Fantasy alert, by the way. Fantasy alert.
Yo, Mixon, man. Yeah, I got a bold prediction with that, but
Tease.
we'll wait on that. But
Tease.
yeah, when the Bengals first drafted Drew Sample, I thought it was a reach. I had Drew Sample as a day 3 prospect, 4th, 5th round guy. They got him in the 2nd round. I thought it was better tight ends on the board. But if you look at what the Bengals are trying to do schematically, they got Zac Taylor over there now. Came from Sean McVay's offense. They're going to run a lot of 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end. The more I think about the Drew Sample pick is, they want to run the football. They want to be more physical. They want to be more aggressive. And, that right tackle, Bobby Hart, you mentioned it, that Drew Sample's going to play right tackle as a joke. But, no, you can put him right next to Bobby Hart and help Bobby Hart in pass protection, in the run game, in a lot of different areas, man. So, Drew Sample does make sense here for the Cincinnati Bengals, what they're trying to do, but I still think it was a reach.
And then you talk about, him in the passing game because he is a tight end. I mean, he is out there running routes. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating when watching an offense when either the play calling is terrible or the quarterback isn't finding the guy who's open. Like you watch the few times that I see him go out on a route, and man, I mean, he's running this route, and there's times where I'm watching Sample and I'm like, yo, man, you can tell he's not completely comfortable running the route. He's not finding the gap in the zone. He's just kind of running, he doesn't always show his number.
Sure.
But when he does,
the ball's not coming.
Yeah, like we're going downfield to a double coverage, to a bad throw. Like you got your tight end right here. He's open, throw it to him. So there was a lot of missed opportunity with Drew Sample to see, what his full potential is. I know he ran a 4.7. That's not overly. I mean, that's not bad for his size or whatever. But in terms of play speed, I just think he's not completely comfortable running routes. But what I know he's comfortable doing is putting his hand on somebody, getting that extension and locking somebody out. In the 3rd round with the 72nd pick. Sound right? That sound right? That's good? Okay. Sound
That's
good?
72.
Yeah, 72. That's what it is? Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure. They got Jermaine Pratt, outside linebacker from North Carolina State.
Yeah, I know we talked about Pratt a little bit off camera. CPGM Drew wasn't a big fan of his, but I liked him on tape, man. I thought Pratt was a really enticing prospect. I know he only has 1 year starting experience, but he's like this new age linebacker, safety turned linebacker.
Yeah.
This guy, you can put him in the box. You can put him as a slot defender. He gets a good jamming on receivers, has enough speed to cover. He comes downhill fast, but the issues with him is sometimes he gets bullied at the point of contact. He needs to get more stronger, needs to decipher around blocks a little better, but this Cincinnati Bengals defense, especially the 2nd level, was terrible last season, man. I know they had their share of injuries, but they were one of the worst defenses in the league. And yeah, getting a guy like Pratt in the middle of your defense that closes quickly to the ball carriers. Also, blitzing the quarterback. I think you get pressure blitzing the quarterback also. I think you need that kind of speed on your defense.
No, and when you talk about the 2nd level of the Bengals defense, like you said, it was one of the worst, and numerous times it was just tack the 2nd level defense. When you talk about this defense as a whole, I mean, they got talent all over the place, all over the place. But then when you look at the linebackers, it was turtle out there. It was tortoise. It was slow. It wasn't good, and you just attacked those linebackers. It was easy pickings, So with the addition of Pratt, like you said, those things I didn't like about him. When he did come downhill and he wasn't coming hard and fast and it wasn't diagnosed clean for him, he was looking like he was a little slow, a little sluggish, he was thinking through it, and you don't want that. You want a guy who's gonna come down, see what he's seeing, and make the play. So that was kind of my concern. But in terms of coverage, yeah, you got the right guy in terms of coverage.
And teams attack him. Teams attack him that way quite a bit. I think, to your point, Drew, his sluggishness was due more to the fact that he's inexperienced, that he's thinking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Obviously, we always talk about defensively, you want to simplify things so you can go fast. You can attack and go fast. I think that transition, inexperience playing the position, even despite the fact that he had good production, is part of the reason why you didn't see him attack, diagnose as quickly as you'd like. That being said, I think this organization historically just hasn't placed a big emphasis on paying that particular part of their team. That's where they save their money. You know what I mean? They'll pay up front, which makes sense. Don't get me wrong, it makes sense. Pay on the back end at the corner positions. Your star power on the offense, you'll fork up some cash for that. But generally speaking, they just haven't. They've kind of pieced together their linebacking core. They draft guys a little bit later, get that mid-level free agent to kind of come in and fill a role. But they really got exposed quite a bit last year at that level. So I think assuming Pratt gets the necessary coaching, he can continue to develop and he'll make an impact sooner rather than later.
All right, man. In the 4th round, with the 104th pick, the Bengals selected their next quarterback who's going to take over, and Ryan Finley. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. From NC State. This guy was getting a lot of hype coming out, as most quarterbacks do when the season starts and then when it's over. Let me look at I'm gonna read my notes here because Mr. Ryan Finley seems to know where the free rusher is, even though the throw is not successful. No, let me get through it, man. Base can be wide, causing overthrows. Not sure that his velocity could make the long throws, the wide throws of the field.
Opposite hash.
Yeah, those long throws. I think he's at his best in a quick strike offense. I felt like watching his tape, the longer the play took, is the worse he got.
Less effective he was.
Yes. Yes.
I'll start off with what I liked about Ryan Finley. The touch on his passes, his back shoulder passes. He was a back shoulder beast. He had Kevin Harmon helping him out, but he threw those passes effectively, the back shoulder passes, those timing routes. But, man, watching the tape, man, I saw him at the Senior Bowl. He showed some good tape at the Senior Bowl. I was like, okay, this guy's probably a good prospect, man. I went to watch the tape. He just predetermined a lot of passes, telegraphed a lot of passes. If the first read is not there, Ryan Finley's going to struggle, man. So, they got Zac Taylor here. They probably be a West Coast quick throwing offense, get the ball out of his hands quickly, because he's a smart guy. He could diagnose pre-snap, but if that first read's not there, he needs to get better at hitting his second, third, and fourth options.
So, we're talking about Ryan Finley, we're talking about his flaws, okay? And he's in a system with Zac Taylor, and we know what word on the street is what McVay would do for Goff is basically, this is word on the street, this is not from me, is he would essentially tell him where he's going to go with the football. He would have everything lined up, and Goff would, get to the line quickly so that he could talk him through the play until, obviously hits that, I think it's like the 12-second mark or 15-second mark, the headset shuts off. So Finley's in that type of offense where until he gets completely comfortable with what he's doing, I was hating on your boy Goff there a little bit, but this is what people saying. If that's what Zac Taylor can do for Ryan Finley, you might actually have a guy here. All right, with their second, 4th round pick, the 125th pick overall, they selected defensive tackle from Arizona State, Renell Wren.
Yeah.
Let me know in the comment section if I butchered his name.
W-R-E-N, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, just checking. I didn't know what to expect watching this guy's tape.
Yeah, strong.
How you say it?
With a K.
Strong.
and this is a guy who was converting speed to power and just power to power.
Right.
There
was another level of power. Right.
He could play one gap. He could play two gap. He was playing in a 3-4. He played a little end. He played a little nose. I mean, Bengals got steal, bro. Yeah. I don't know how the hell this guy got to the 4th round. There must be something in his file that done got missed because he shouldn't have fell to the 4th round, bro.
Go ahead.
Nah, he said it all, man. It's just how he's just strength in his hands, man. I put he has explosive strength. You know what I'm saying? He's very disruptive.
We got the Tyson strength.
Yeah,
we got that Tyson
knockout power, man. Okay. So, yeah, man. You say 4th round? I think that's where he was projected to go, but
Drew don't think so.
No,
yeah,
something
Day 2.
Something
Day 2.
So he could have been a day 2.
You know, we talked about the Bengals, their approach in terms of building their roster at the second level. Defensive line, they don't play.
No,
they
be killing.
They are excellent in terms of finding talent along the defensive line, and not just early in the draft. I'm talking day 3.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
Day 2, day 3. They got guys who can get after the quarterback, who can plug it up. They always seem to find great value along their defensive line.
Yeah, whether it be Anthony Brown,
Willis, Lawson,
Sam Hubbard,
Lawson. I mean, when you talk about waves,
that's waves.
Bengals have waves.
They got waves.
And also, I forgot to mention, the dude's lateral movement. And let's not forget Wren's lateral movement. I mean,
Andrew Billings,
yeah.
He was healthy this past year. You could start to kind of see what he could bring to the table.
It's probably going to be Billings and Wren right there, competing right there inside.
That's a nice 1-2 right there.
All right, with the third, fourth round pick out here collecting the fourths, 136th pick overall, they selected Michael Jordan from North Carolina to play some basketball. No, Michael Jordan, center guard from Ohio State. Watching his tape, strong, powerful, and I believe this dude can deal with any type of defensive lineman. The quick guy, the strong guy. Get out to the second level. Did plenty of pulling. And what I love about centers and I love about guards is they can always the ones that can find the free man, free man running blitz, whatever it is, or screw up in a pass block scheme. He's always finding the free man.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, he's a big guy. I kind of disagree with you. I do think his 2017 tape when he played guard was a lot better than the 2018 tape at center. But to me, he doesn't really look comfortable. Lack of bend in his knees. Not a people mover. He doesn't give me the nasty that I'm looking for offensive lineman, and he's just a little too upright at times. So those are my issues with Michael Jordan. But I think the move to guard, where he played better in 2017, will benefit him in Cincinnati.
So I got right here just to clean it up because I like to defend myself. Times looks like a pro, other times looks like a slug.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
Slug?
I mean, he's a 4th round pick.
So
he dropped you a little bit.
Could this be a guy?
I mean,
he's still growing too. You know what I'm saying? He look like he can add on more weight to his frame, so he could potentially become a starter. I think, but as of right now, I think he's more developmental.
In the 6th round, because they had no 5th round pick, with the 182nd pick, Trayveon Williams, running back out of Texas A&M.
Yeah, man, I like Trayveon Williams. I thought this was a great draft pick by the Cincinnati Bengals. If you just look at him, man, you think, he's just a pass catching back, but he's tough inside, man. He runs tough inside the tackles. He bounces outside. He catches. He actually reminds me a lot of Giovanni Bernard, the guy that he's probably going to eventually replace in Cincinnati.
He's still there?
He's still there.
Yeah, last year's contract.
Still doing his thing, man. But if you're looking for a tough inside runner with the ability to catch the ball on third downs, on passing situations, Trayveon Williams is your guy, man.
I just like him because he was in the eye.
Yeah.
With Jimbo being at Texas A&M, I saw him dot the eye, and he looked. I mean, obviously he has that dual threat ability, but he gave me a feeling of. Historically, you had some of those smaller backs, the Thomas Jones, the Tiki Barbers, some of those guys. It kind of gave me that feel. You know what I'm saying? Smaller back that can run between the tackles.
I'm gonna give you one.
Okay, give me one.
First thing I notice is he's not the biggest guy or a guy who's going to bring the kitchen sink to pass blocking, but he gets the job done and isn't afraid to mix it up. Reminds me of work done in a sense.
I could get with that.
So these are all smaller guys that can run inside and catch the ball out the backfield.
Yeah, a lot of production too, and we're talking about the SEC. On top of it, we're talking about 1,800 yards or so. I mean, that's a good football player, no doubt. I'm surprised he lasted that long.
All right, in the 6th round, another 6th round pick, the 210th pick, they selected linebacker DeShaun Davis out of Auburn. This is a downhill point of attack linebacker who has zone and man coverage skills. He's, you know what? He kind of mirrors Pratt a little bit. They're kind of very, very similar when you think about the two linebackers. So you kind of get the feeling that the kind of linebacker they were trying to identify, a guy who, obviously can come downhill, but also
three down guys.
Three down guys. He can playing the pass game.
Yep.
Another 6th round pick, 211th pick. They selected Rodney always hurt Anderson out of Oklahoma.
Why are you disrespecting him?
I mean, he's always hurt. It's facts.
He's always hurt.
It's facts. But he might
That
get
ain't the
shot.
man name, though.
It's not.
Please,
but,
let's go.
yeah, but this guy, he's kind of like the bigger Trayveon Williams, where he runs inside really well. See the time after time, the inside zone at Oklahoma. But he also can catch the ball in the backfield. That's his best attribute. He might be one of the best pass catching running backs in this class. Get him in the 6th round. If he didn't get injured, he probably would have been a day 2 pick, a 2nd, 3rd round pick. So, extremely great value right here. He just has to stay healthy.
I mean, I don't even know if I need to say anything else outside saying my man got vision. Wiggling vision.
Yeah, I think with Anderson and the Williams pick, it obviously kind of foreshadowing in terms of Gio Bernard. He's not going to be there beyond this season, I don't think.
Yeah.
Mark Walton had his legal trouble, so he got shipped out. So
Where's
now
he from?
he's from the U.
Okay.
Yeah,
Say a little louder.
He's from the U.
Okay.
That's a baller. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted now.
Okay.
That's a baller.
Okay.
But they made the right decision. They made the right decision in terms of, you need a fresh start. We don't need that in this particular locker room.
Not anymore.
So, but I think, again, they got great value here in terms of what that player could be ultimately. And it just tells me that they are committed to running the football.
Jonah Williams, the
Drew
2 running
Sample.
backs, Drew Sample.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this is they try to run the football in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's how you win games later when it gets cold and you don't want to have that wilting. Of the offense. You want to be able to punch somebody in the mouth in a tough
Keep the
division.
defense off the field. Too.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
In the 7th round, with their last pick, 223rd pick, they selected Jordan Brown, cornerback out of South Dakota State. Watching his tape, what I saw was he looked better to me, man to man, up close and personal. He doesn't necessarily have to jam the receiver, but have his hand on the receiver. Did a lot of turning and running, kind of LSU style,
Sure.
In terms of coverage. When he was at his worst was when he was actually off coverage and he had to kind of read and react. I really didn't like that. All right, Bengals fans, let us know how you feel about your team. Hit us in the comment section. Spread the word.
Who they?
That's CouchPotatoGM.com.
Is in the building.